might be saved, you might be reborn. No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you, the God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Happy New Year, everybody. Blessings for the year that is coming. Blessings on what's already gone before. Am I not on? It's actually not on. It's my fault. Let's try that again. How about now? Maybe? 1, 2. Okay, here we go. Helps if the minister pushes the button. See, I'm out of practice. Yes, let there be sound. Yes. Cold, yes. My brain is frozen still. It was single digits when we arrived in New York. But you know, there's always something to be grateful for. We went to the Steelers game, Steelers in Kansas City, great football game, open stadium in the winter. But it didn't snow and it didn't rain and it was like 40 degrees. So that's like normal layers and a hat. I mean, I don't know if you're on Facebook, but me in a Steelers fur cap with the ear flaps, that's something you really should miss. However, it worked. I was grateful. Anyway, welcome. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for joining us. And let's wave to our friends online, for there are a few out there as well, part of this community that is all about love and support and fellowship. So thank you all for making the effort to be here this first Sunday of the year. Our practitioner today is Patty Powers. Practitioners are here to know the truth for you in prayer. So you can talk to Patty after service. You can put in a written request on the back table. There's a little box to put it in for the practitioners to pray for you or for someone else. You can also leave a message on our phone line. There's one of the mailbox options is for practitioners, and they will take your concern into prayer and know the greater truth for you. If you haven't done it before, you will be amazed. Did you know that one of the words for 2024 was manifest? You know, they pick a word of the year. One of the different dictionaries pick a word of the year, and manifest was one of last year's words. So, see, we're mainstream. There you go. So if you want something to manifest, talk to your practitioners. They're here for you. We have some great music this morning. We've got Jeff on keyboards. And we welcome back Janelle Rapp. And we'll get started by getting centered. Always, always a good idea. So I'm going to invite you to take a breath. Clear your lap, clear your minds. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Let the sound of the bowl take you within. For there is within each heart a sanctuary, a place of love and light and joy. And it is in this place that we remember the truth of who we are, that you and I and Spirit are all one.
So in this oneness, we feel the love and the guidance and the power of God. We feel it going through us, flowing around us, and going from us. And this power is joy and love. And so let's just sit in that for a moment. And in this place of joy, in this place of love, we know that today's service is blessed. That the messages today hold something for each and every one of us. That the music today is fun and interesting. That everybody here just has a wonderful time. And everybody online as well. We give thanks for this wonderful day. And we let it go, and so we begin. So it is. My reading today is from a book called Your Needs Met. It was written, I think, by a couple practitioners. I really like the book. And my reading is called There is No Power in Lack. It is very evident that lack means absence of good. Then, how can that be that it has any power? Lack is the product of attitude of mind that is not in accord with the truth. In truth, the only lack there is a lack of faith in God. God is everywhere present and is complete, perfect, and abundant life. There is no power in lack. There is only power in God. There is manna for today to meet our every need. It makes no difference what that need may be. A need for ideas, for substance, for friends, for wisdom, for any good thing. When we turn to the presence of God and make our needs known, that need will be filled. Animals are not capable of knowing and using God's perfect law of life, but man is made in the image and likeness of God and knows what God knows. He can speak his word, and the law of life will respond. What things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that you will receive them, and ye shall have them. Mark 11:24. I do not believe in lack as a power. I have faith in the power of God to provide manna for today. God is power, all power, and the only power. I trust in the abundance of God. I live in the love of God. I seek the kingdom, then all things are added unto me. Thank you. Please welcome Janelle Rapp.
Happy New Year. Good morning. It's so great to be here. So she said manifest was one of the words. Well, a word that just keeps coming to me is value. If we value each other, that means we value ourselves. And as we know, things start with we have to love ourselves to love others. And we only have the capacity to love others as much as we can love ourselves. And I actually want to write a song just about value, but it doesn't feel like I have all the information yet, so I haven't done that. So I'm waiting. But this song I just wrote recently, and it's about privilege, and what a privilege it is to know who you know and to be around who you're around and the lessons that they teach you. And I just felt like this kind of went with the beginning of the new year about how we're all just unique and there's nobody like you ever, and how important that is that you're here in this moment and that we're still breathing. If we're still breathing, there's a reason and there's a why. You changed the world when you were born. You're meant to be, you are one of a kind, you are priceless, undefined. No one can think the way you think. No one can feel the way you feel. No one can see the way you see. It's a privilege having you next to me. It's a privilege. You're a privilege. A breath of fresh air, you're a work of art. Nothing compares to your precious heart. You're a rainbow, you're a promise, you're a clear blue sky. Can't duplicate you, won't even try. 'Cause no one can talk the way you talk. No one can sing the way you sing. No one can bring what you came to bring. This won't happen again. And for that very reason, life is a privilege. We're all privileged.
Thank you. That's beautiful. So we light our candle today for all that is new. Now, I'm not saying only the new year, because what we know is that every moment is new. We can begin something at any time. But there is something about a threshold that energizes us. And so it helps us to pay attention to those moments when we cross from what feels like one thing to another. And at the same time, to hold in consciousness that it is all one unending flow of life. So that is what our flame is for, lighting the way on this flow of life that we are traversing. So today is Pick a Page, and before we begin, I have a reading for us about New Year's revolutions. It's written by Carrie Newcomer, and she is an essayist, a writer, a songwriter, a singer, someone I always enjoy reading and that I get something from everything she says. So, because I want to grow up and be just like her, I thought I would read you some of her words. Because you know me, I love words and the meanings they bring, and this is all about resolution versus revolution. A common practice at the turn of the year is to make New Year's resolutions. We put forth an intention to resolve, to do, not do, or finish something. Definition of a resolution is A, a decision or determination to do or not do something. B, the act of solving a problem or a dispute. Often resolutions have to do with resolving a problem or to create a change or a habit, to eat more healthy, to move more frequently, watch less TV, begin a journal, quit smoking, learn Photoshop. Who learns Photoshop anymore? Or how to play the banjo. It's good to set a goal, and it's good to be intentional about our goals. But perhaps there is a different way of turning the page from December to January. Rather than creating a resolution, what would it look like to begin 2025 with a New Year's revolution? Here's the definition of a revolution. A fundamental change in the way of thinking about or visualizing something, a paradigm shift. B, referring to a complete orbit of one object around another, such as the Earth's revolution around the sun. And C, a significant societal or cultural shift. What might happen if instead of focusing on resolving an old problem, we decided to intentionally open up our minds to a whole new way of thinking? What might change if we did as Rilke described and truly welcomed, quote, the new year full of things that have never been, end quote? What might happen if I decided to not just focus on how to keep working with the well-worn grooves of the path before me, but rather consider what has always held true at the very center of my journey? What true thing do I keep circling around as the earth orbits the sun? What I mean is, what if I listen to what sings at the center of my heart? What endures, and against all odds, what helps me to see that there is still a path, but it may look different than anything I've imagined until now? Even good resolutions are based upon what I already know, and my desire to either enhance or banish what I already know. After the first week of November, many of us were left feeling disillusioned and weary. The infinitely hard but ultimately good part of disillusionment is that we become real with honesty. My friend Parker Palmer has written powerfully about this idea, about how when we are free of illusion, disillusioned, we have the opportunity to let go of the path that has been leading us nowhere or just somewhere we've already been. Rilke also wrote in another favorite poem, I live my life in growing orbits which move out over this wondrous world. I am circling around God, around ancient towers, and I have been circling for 1,000 years. And I still don't know if I am an eagle or a storm or a great song. As an artist, as a seeker, all my life I've been circling around something compelling and beautiful. It has never been the straight path that has drawn me forward, but the mysterious one. It's the new idea, the new expression, the sound of the genuine that keeps calling me forward and inward. There is no illusion. It is the sound of something deeply true. So this year, I'm making my own New Year's revolutions. To listen more intently to the song at the center of my heart and sing it faithfully, living my life in growing orbits, not just a straight path, but a true one. I think it's the earring. They're beautiful, they're gone. Next revolution. To welcome a year full of things that have never been and trust that the way forward may not look like the way behind. To be strengthened and not beaten down by reality, opening myself to new ways and new paths, imagining that this new path might just be called hallelujah. To be courageous because, honey, change is coming. To love this wondrous world, to lean into joy, and when the time is right, to allow myself to be an eagle, a storm, or a great song. So I ask you to think about that for yourself. What might it look like to create a revolution rather than a resolution this month? This idea of a change of thinking or visualizing, a change of paradigm, or what it is that you truly orbit around. What is it that your heart calls you to do? Whether you've done it or not, whether you've explored it or not, what is it that pulls you forward and inward? What is that call? What is that shift that wants to happen in you? So not to say that we shouldn't, set an intention for the year. I would like to be healthier. That's a great intention. There's all kinds of things I can do around that. But the feeling that's going to motivate me is the feeling that I'm aware of that comes from within that says, this is what you are here to do. This is who you are meant to be. These are the words you are speaking out into the world. So I invite you to think of your own revolution this year. All right, so we seek the wisdom of the ages, and we do so with 5 choices today. We have Christian Larson, The Hidden Secret, one of those little books that has all kinds of gems in it, disguised with very archaic, somewhat Christian language. Okay, but good stuff. We have Ernest Holmes, The Basic Ideas of Science of Mind. We have April Moncrief, The Principles of New Thought. We have Ernest Holmes and Willis Kinnear, A New Design for Living, which is all about very practical ways of living your life according to a philosophy of joy. And then we have The Joyous Living Journal, which is a compilation of readings, quotes, questions to ask yourself day by day. It's like a daily guide. So 1 through 5. So let us begin. Let me have a number 1 through 5, please. 5, okay. Now in this book, you don't pick a page number, you pick a date. Pick a date, please. Okay, so I got 2 dates. We'll go with today, which is the 5th, which is Reason for Being. The quote is from Rumi. When you do things from your soul, you feel a river moving in you, a joy. When actions come from another section, the feeling disappears. And the reading is, when you are held down by the waves in the ocean, there's such a strong desire for air that you'll find strength you didn't know you had to get you to the surface. When you are held down by life, going through a dark night of the soul, missing your desire to live, going through an inner crisis, there doesn't appear to be much strength left to get you to the surface. You can attempt to talk yourself through it or listen to your friend telling you can make it, try harder, but it falls on deaf ears and usually just doesn't work when you are down deep. When you are in the depths of darkness and have lost the will to live, it's not words, but the stirring of your soul that activates your strength. A reconnection, a remembering, or an awakening to your purpose and meaning is the revelation that will have you finding your hidden strength to get you back into action. It's the sudden appearance of grace, the mystical stirring within your heart, not the intellect of your head, that will reignite your fire to live and express again. Not only will you survive the crisis, you will rise again stronger in living your reason for being. So when we talk about principles, this idea that our true motivation, our true power, comes from tapping into our heart's desire. So you all know you can't talk yourself into something you really don't want to do. I mean, you can do it, but it's not a pretty sight. And you all also know that you can't convince someone with only words that they should be doing something else, preferably what you want them to do. That doesn't work very well either. It's when we ignite the desire within us that we find the energy, the power, the creativity, the solutions, the way forward. And for someone else, it's when we ask the question that gets them thinking along the lines of, oh, that's what I want to do, or that's who I want to be. Not because we told them, but because we invited them to look within. So this idea of our power being within us is one of the basic principles of science of mind. This is what we know to be true. 1 through 5.
2.
All right. Pick a page up to 90 something. 86. The details will come. So leading up to the details will come. This is about doing a prayer and looking for answers. Assure yourself over and over that your prayer is fulfilled. Don't worry if days and days go by without there seeming to be any response. You may be sure that the right developments are taking place. Your affairs are rightly being attended to. Be still and wait, believe, accept. And then someday, all of a sudden, perhaps when your mind is busy with something entirely different, even some trivial little matter, there will come a flash of inspiration, and you will know that the idea has come. At first, it's quite likely you will see no possible way in which it could be carried out. That doesn't matter in the least. When God supplies an idea, it is wise enough to furnish the plan for it. Give happy, sincere thanks for the idea, accept it, know it's the right one. Don't listen to the objections that will immediately come to mind. They will be good, sensible ones too, insofar as you know, but they cannot compare with spirit wisdom. So when an idea comes from spirit through the intuition, don't be so foolish as to let old concepts interfere with it. And without any anxiety or sense of haste, accept in perfect confidence the details of the plan by which your idea can be carried out. They will come. Your job is to take the first step. Have you had this happen in your life? Some crazy idea that just felt like the right next thing to do, and you went, yeah, except I don't have the money for that. What do you mean of course I want to travel the world. How in the world am I going to do that? I don't have any money. I don't even have a map. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? You can talk yourself out of a really great idea instantaneously, right? And if you don't do it for yourself, there are plenty of people out there who will tell you why it can't be done. And you can still do it anyway if you take the step. So what else have you done where it was impossible until it wasn't? Anybody? Susie.
Some friends, while I was teaching, came up with this idea of taking an educational tour of China. And I've never had any desire to go to China, but it was an offer I couldn't refuse. And I went home and I told Ed about it, and he was like, China? I said, yeah, why not? It's like, and within it was like 3 or 4 months away, it all came to be, and we had a great time, and I wouldn't have traded for anything. It was
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
And I was, at first it was like, that's like ridiculous,
Right.
It's impossible. And then it wasn't.
And then it wasn't.
Once I accept, yes, we're gonna go, that's it. I don't know how, I don't know, it will happen. And it all came together. So it was a wonderful experience.
Perfect example. Perfect example. Henry, you had one?
Yeah, similar. I didn't think I was going to go to Cancun or have a passport. And all of a sudden, I'm in Cancun. I'm sitting there like, I can't believe I'm even left the country. So it's really amazing to just experience
Yeah.
that reality.
Anything is possible. Truly. Excellent. All right. 1 through 5. 2 again. All right. Page number.
17.
17. What was the one over here?
12.
12. All right. So 12 and 17. 12 says, let's see. We're starting out talking about Einstein. One moment, please. Well, let's go here. Mind is everywhere. After all, this is just the same as saying what we were taught to say in earliest childhood, God is everywhere. That statement didn't mean much to us then, but now we know that this universal mind is everywhere, therefore it is within us. Mind as in consciousness, mind as intelligence, mind as the creative power of all things, the creator and what is created. This is the energy of all life that is in and around us. And everywhereness, Holmes says there can be no exception to this everywhereness. This gives us the key to the whole situation and makes us understand that not only our individual minds, but our bodies as well are expressions and part of this consciousness. So again, the principle of oneness, of a unified whole, of a common substance that is the energy and essence of all things. When we know that, What starts to fall away are the human constructs of otherness. And what happens when we see someone or something as other? We are afraid, we defend ourselves, we run away, we pull away, we don't offer who we are if we think we have reason to be afraid. And so knowing that this energy of life is throughout us and everyone and everything else gives us a different platform, a different paradigm from which to operate. It means that no matter where I am or who I'm with, there is something here for me. No matter what's going on, there is something for me to know, to learn, to be, to offer, to love. And that changes the way we are in the world. Okay. 1 through 5. Oh, wait, what was the second page number? 17, thank you. All right, at the end, it's the end of the chapter called You and Your Mind. And these are the 4 things you are to remember. Everything is mind, and you are therefore a part of it. Mind responds and produces according to your believing thought. It's up to you, baby. You have the right and power to think what you want to think. Therefore, you may create desired good conditions for yourself and others. And you control your own good and may transform your life into an experience of happiness, health, and prosperity. Anybody not so sure of that last one? On a good day, that's not a problem, right? On a hard day, that's when you turn to your friend, your practitioner, you call your minister, and you say, I don't think I'm creating the life I want because right now it sucks. And your friend or your practitioner or your minister goes, been there, I understand that. Let's see if we can't turn that around. Because what is also true in the moment where you feel at your lowest, or you feel the most threatened, or you feel the most depressed or angry or separate, what is also true in that moment is that the very energy of life is still within you and all around you. That your heart's desire is still strong, that there is still a way forward even if you can't see it yet. And so we bring our thinking back to center, to what is true. Because the stuckness or the fear is all about our opinion of what's going on or what's being said. So we always have the ability to realign ourselves with what is also true. And when we can't do it for ourselves, then we rely on our community. That is how we get through this. We're in this together because we are of the same love. We just are. Okay, 1 through 5. 4. And a page number up to 225. 20. All right. Plus and minus thinking. It would probably be correct to say that every thought we have is in some way and to some degree creative. What we need to do is add them up, plus and minus, and see what kind of total we get. Do we think one thought of health during the day and the rest of the time concentrate on our aches and pains? Do we toss off a quick prayer at night in the hope that it will compensate for all that we may have done wrong during the day? We need to consider our thought as a pair of scales, one side good, the other side negative, and through our thinking, which side are we adding to? The side with the greatest weight is that which we have selected to experience. And I think the call here is not to say that we shouldn't or that we're wrong to have the negative thoughts we do, or to struggle where we struggle, or to feel the pain that we feel. I think the call here is to ask ourselves, what principle of the divine brings healing to this, brings balance to this, so that if I am truly angry about something that is happening, what is the spiritual principle that brings the healing, that brings the love, that brings the openness to this situation which feels so constricted and so negative? So perhaps it's first to identify that anger is a form of fear. What am I afraid of losing? What am I fighting for? What's my why? Because when I know what my why is, peace is more important to me than war, or love is more important to me than being right, how can I bring that to this situation? Because any human situation responds to a spiritual principle. And where we put our consciousness, our energy, our thinking is going to influence how we act and how we feel, which is going to change the experience of what it is we don't want to experience in a negative way. So that anger gets channeled into constructive action to make a difference, to heal something, to fix a broken system. That fear gets soothed by reaching out for help and companionship in a situation that I don't feel equipped to handle. Right? That sorrow is healed through a loving presence of those who I know love me. They don't even have to say anything. I just need to know I'm not by myself. I'm not alone. We all respond to something, and we can consciously choose to bring a spiritual principle to any situation, any conversation, any anticipated dilemma. Ask yourself, what is the divine truth in this place, in this conversation, with this person? Okay, next. 4. Page number? 33. The cornerstone of freedom. In considering the new design for living we desire to create, we find that it is in our own mind that we have the ways and means to build and build well. Not only do we find that in the process of thinking we have the ability to think in any manner that we choose without limitation, but also that there is no restriction on the creativity which is inherent in thought. We have here both the raw material of which our experience is created and the means by which it is created. The process by which the raw material, the content of thought, becomes experience is automatic. It's the operation of law. We don't have to make one become the other. It just does. Of prime importance is what kind of raw materials we're going to use. What are we going to think? We discover that we have to lift ourselves out of the mental ruts we've been traveling in to discover new raw materials. Bigger, better ideas are needed, ideas free from limitations imposed by our past thinking, which certainly in many respects has been far from adequate in designing a completely satisfactory way of life. I hear this conversation in many different forms. Pat works for a consulting company that does a lot of government contracts, which means there's a bunch of really smart old white men in the room. And nothing against white men, but it's one perspective. It is a valuable piece of experience and a history and a foundation to build upon. But if you do not have other voices in the room, you do not innovate. And in the business that she is in, innovation is necessary. And so it's remembering that all voices have something to contribute. And that includes our families. It includes, we used to have family meetings, which always made us roll our eyes, like, oh God, it's time for a family meeting again. We'll sit in the living room and listen to Dad say something and then ask what we want. But you know what? We got to do some really cool things because my little brothers came up with these wild-ass ideas that nobody ever thought of before, and it was really fun. My dad figured out a way to make it work, and we had a blast. And it wouldn't have happened if Mom and Dad had done all the planning, right? And you know, kids come up with wild ideas that may be life-threatening, in which case it's good to have the parents' point of view as well. But we have the ability to build something new if we are willing to lift ourselves out of what has been as the only way it could be. We know better, We just have to open to that better. There's a, whose is it? Fillmore, I think, talks about surrendering the less, or maybe it's Thurman, surrendering the lesser for the greater. Like letting go of the good you have in order to allow something better to come in. It's not that you don't want to hang on to the good you have, but you don't have to cling to it. If it moves forward and out into the world, you are now available to something even greater. And who doesn't want that? Okay, 1 through 5.
1.
Okay. Christian Larson. All right, pick a page. 25. See if I could translate. All right, this is all about, the book is called The Hidden Secret. It's all about faith, talking about faith. So funny how this all strings together. That we must have faith before we can become conscious of the new, the larger, the better, the higher, the spirit of things is very evident when we realize that it is faith alone that goes out upon the seeming void. It is faith alone that breaks bounds and demonstrates the existence of a greater life. It is faith that takes the first step forward always, but wherever faith may go, consciousness invariably follows. That faith is our understanding of that unity of substance, that essence and energy, that power of life that we all are, that we all come from. And if we know that to be true, then we also know that there's something greater, that there is new things to be discovered, that there are new ways of being in the world. And when Larson talks about faith, he's talking about that ability to trust our own hearts, what our soul whispers to us. It's okay. You're going to be fine. This is for you to do. I know you don't know how it's going to work out. It's okay. It's going to be fine. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. That is our faith. And that is what brings us to a greater conscious awareness of what life can be and what life is. Okay. Next book. 5. Pick a date. January 17th. Out with doubt. Shakespeare says, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we might oft win by fearing to attempt. Doubts are like parasites that wiggle their way into your thinking. That is a gruesome picture. You will honor either these fears or your faith, but not both. Which one gets to stay? Whichever you entertain becomes your friend and influencer. You weren't born to struggle for a living. You were born to show forth the beauty and glory of your Creator. Fear and doubt will pull you away from your joyous living. Send doubt packing so it doesn't become the predominant force in your thinking. The negative thought will short your divine circuitry. You are in the same kind of relationship with God as an electric gadget is to its flow of power. It may be a great gizmo, but unless it's plugged in, nothing's going to happen. And it doesn't matter how long you pray over it. Fear and doubt pull the plug to your source. Faith and conviction plug you in. You get to choose what thoughts you are going to entertain. Now, nothing says that we don't unplug now and then. You know, we can be mad at God. We can be mad at life. We can truly not see any way out. Truly not see anything beyond the disaster we're in the middle of. But if we come back around to faith, if we come back around to the part of us that says, you know, I in other times in my life, I've been very aware of that unity, that power, that energy, that's also still true. That will allow those doubts to fade. Allow us to see, it's kind of like fog, it allows us to finally see where the road goes. You know, that there is still a road. Anybody been driving early morning lately down by the beach? It's been foggy. I mean, can't see the light that's only 2 houses down from you. But the road's still there. The light's still on. You're still moving. But it doesn't look like you should be. It doesn't look like there's a way. It doesn't look like something that you want to do. And yet we are rewarded when we say, okay, I can't see it and I have faith. And we go more slowly. Nobody says you should speed in the fog. My stepdad, Paul, he's a little tiny man who in his later years really couldn't turn his head very much. This made him a very scary driver, okay? But I really got scared, not because I was in the car with him, but because he was telling me about driving in the fog. And he said he was driving on the yellow line with the little raised bumps. He called it driving by Braille. I thought, I get it. I do get it. It would keep you in the middle of the road and not up a tree. But oh my goodness, am I glad I wasn't on the road when you were driving. Some doubts are, self-preservation. Okay, we have time for a couple more. Book number, please. 3. All right. Page number up to 104. 40. All right, I'm scanning. All right, being born again. So the principles of New Thought, this is looking at traditional scripture and understanding it in a metaphysical way. So in one sense, it's kind of all about the Bible. In another sense, it's all about ways of understanding what was being taught, as opposed to the literal meaning. So being born again means, as the Apostle Paul declares in the early decades after Jesus' transition, and as Emmett Fox would reiterate centuries later, dying daily to every flaw of character, every prejudice, every petty form of deceit and selfishness. It signifies the willingness to give up anything and everything that would stand in the way of total spiritual transformation. Dr. Fox goes on to say that because of the high price extracted by the process of totally surrendering one's sense of a separate human identity, quote, all but the very strongest spirits shirk it, end quote. He reminds us, however, that we do not get very far, spiritually speaking, without being prepared to slay the present man, that the new spiritual being may be born. I had the privilege of attending a workshop led by Ram Dass when I was in my 20s. And all you had to do was be in the same room and know that there was something going on there, right? Even as ignorant as I was then. But I was curious. And he did a meditation, and he led us through this process of visualizing letting go of what was in our lives currently. So let go of your house, let go of the street you live on, let go of the city you live in, let go of your car, let go of... And he got to the part where he said, let go of your name. And my 20-year-old self went, oh, hell no. That's me. I've been working really hard to figure out who I am. I'm not letting go. I couldn't do it. But I get it now. I get it on a different level. When we talk about surrender, when we talk about yielding, when we talk about having faith, when we talk about letting go, it's the lesser for the greater. It's the understanding that what we are attached to here has its purpose, but it is not who we are. And that if we are not attached to where we are clinging or grasping or clutching, if we are not constricted, we are available to so much more. Whether that's in our thinking or in our material possessions or in our actions, if we are able to, willing and able to not hold on, but to allow the flow to happen, we are then in a position to experience something ever greater, ever greater, ever greater. Think about it. If you had clung to your toys when you were 5 years old throughout your entire life, to the point where you never wanted anything else, your growth would be stunted. Your perspective would be so limited. Now, at 5, what you loved is perfectly appropriate for you at that age. It's just not all there is. So why would we think that what we have now, who we are now, is all there is? That can't be. We are eternal spiritual beings. We are always becoming. We are always opening up to the greater. And so we can do that not just at the new year, but truly any time. As long as we remain conscious, as long as we understand our faith, as long as we realign when we get out there somewhere and get a little bit lost, as long as we come back to who we truly are, where we truly belong. And I think that's a good note to end on. Namaste. So I invite you to join me in a moment of prayer. And this prayer, as we understand it, is the alignment, the centering, the knowingness of who and whose we are. This energy of life, this creative principle that is the very essence of all that we are and all that we do. This essence of who we are is love. And love gives to itself. Love nourishes and sustains. Love shares. Love offers. Love accepts. The truth of who we are allows for room for all of life to be experienced. And this love that is all of life is individualized in me, in each person here. This power of life shows up uniquely and wonderfully through each heart and mind, as each expression of spirit, no one alike, yet all sharing that energy, that positive growth incentive, that desire to expand and become. This is the truth of life right here, right where we are. And in this place, I speak a word of healing, of acceptance, of openness, that as we move forward into this new calendar year, we also step into the newness we are meant to be. We know, too, that love is never at the expense of anyone or anything else, that the highest and best is for all. So I accept and give great thanks for all that is to become in the days ahead, for all that I am to become in the days ahead. Trusting and knowing that as I allow love to prevail in all that I think and say and do, I bring that healing light to the world. And I know, too, that as I express love, love is being expressed all around me, and that together we shine a bright light. We bring great comfort. We offer sustenance and support wherever it is needed. For this is truly the way we are meant to live, as one, as individuals, together. And so it is. I'd like to invite you to join me in saying our affirmation. I will ask you to repeat after me so that our community online can join us. Today and every day I find wisdom in all of life.
Today and every day I find wisdom in all of life.
I am guided from within to that which serves the highest good for all.
I am guided from within to that which serves the highest good for all.
And so it is. And let's welcome Janelle back. A little music, please.
So much power today. Wow. No words. So, you world travelers out there that have this vision where you're traveling, mine's just an illusion. So, I have this bag from France, because I think I've told you I have a bunch of students at 12 right now that live with me. So, I have a bag from France, a little bag from Thailand. I'm wearing this. This is from a student from Bengali. This is from Vietnam. My shoes, France. So I look like, we can have an illusion that we have stuff going on, right? Or you can have the real thing.
Yes.
You figured out a way to allow the real thing. You kicked down the walls that were keeping you from getting the real thing. That's amazing. And I feel like that's what I'm being told for this year. I don't know about any of you, but I feel like we just need to all right, bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on. France and
Anywhere, everywhere.
so many stories, and I will try to be quick. So there's a wallet, there's clothes, and my walk. So I did this walk about 11 years ago. I've already told you this story, and so I'll be very quick about it. I needed $2,000. I didn't have, actually I needed $1,100. I had no money. I went on this walk and I said, all needs met for like an hour. And I walked in the door and I got a phone call that there was $2,600 coming my way. So then I wrote this song called All Needs Met after that. So yesterday I was in LA and I lost my wallet. I found out when I got home. And I was trying to figure out what songs to do today. And I wasn't going to do this one, but something said I needed to do this song. I hadn't discovered that my wallet was lost yet. And then I looked everywhere, and I thought, oh, it's in LA. I left it somewhere there. And I was reminded, and this is something you were reading about, and talking about, that even in this, all my needs are met. So if my license and all my bank cards and all my credit cards that I use are gone, and I have to make all these phone calls, you know the drill, that even now, all my needs are met. So I looked everywhere. I looked in my car everywhere. Had to go pick up a kid. I got back, looked everywhere again, went back to my car, and still didn't find it. And then something said, look in your car again. And I looked, and it was sitting on my seat. It was like stuck in there. So then the last part is clothes. I was going on a tour in 2011. I had no money, and I needed clothes for the tour, but had no money. And our former boss, where we met, Mo, at Fullerton Music, gave me this huge bag of clothes months before I needed them. Months. But I just left it sitting on the floor in my room because I thought, well, I see the clothes she wears. They're probably going to be too big, and they're not my style. So I left it there thinking maybe I'll find one thing and I can give the rest away, right? Because she told me I could do that. So I didn't look. It's almost time for tour. I looked, and voila, clothes. So sometimes our needs are right there in front of our eyes, and we just don't open our mind to the idea that the clothes would be there. And the clothes actually fit me. She wasn't my size at all. And they were cool. Like, I was shocked.
That's why she gave them away.
Anyway, so this song is about that. And it's called All Needs Met. And it was the last, it wasn't even on my list to do. And Patty Powers, I want to call her Patty Pickles, I don't know why, but Patty Powers, the book she read out of today was Your Needs Met. So I just went, whoa, here we are. So this is about all your needs being met, all the walls being down, nothing in the way of your needs being met. Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. All needs met, all needs met, all needs met, no matter what you get. All needs met, all needs met, all needs met, no matter what you get. 'Cause everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. 'Cause love will find a way where there is no way. All needs met, all needs met, all needs met, no matter what you get. All needs met, no matter, all needs met, no matter, all needs met, no matter what you get. Love will find a way where there is no way. Love will find a way. Love will find a way. Love will find a way where there is no way. Love will find a 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 way where there is no way. 'Cause everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. 'Cause love will find a way where there is no way. All needs met, all needs met, all needs met, no matter what you get. All needs met, no matter, all needs met, no matter, all needs met, no matter what you get. No matter who, no matter what, no matter where, love will find a way. No matter when, no matter how, no matter why, that's my why. 'Cause love will find a way where there is no way. Who or what the way, no matter what the way. Love will find a way where there is no way. How or when the way, how or when the way. 'Cause everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. Everything always works out for me. 'Cause love has found a way where there was no way. Love has found a way. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
Yes, awesome. We're so blessed. Thank you both. This is just delightful. So wonderful. All right, so I am very aware of being very grateful for life, for this community, for our willingness to love and support this philosophy that we all adore. We have ended the year strong. We are going to begin the year strong as well. And today we are doing our part today towards that goal. So I invite our ushers to come forward. And I ask you to know with me that we are an abundant community, just as we are abundant individuals. So if you will, say our prosperity affirmation with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. For those of you online, you can donate on our website or through our e-blast. There is a donate button. We also have text to give if you'd like to do that. There are cards on the back table with the phone number you can use to text us. And all that you give, whether it is your time, talent, or treasure, is truly appreciated. Just remember, if you did not have a chance to do an end-of-year donation, feel free to do a beginning-of-year donation. That is also just fine. One continuous flow, remember? All right, let's talk about what's going on. We went a little bit long today, but I think it was for a good reason. We have our Zoom meditation Wednesday evening at 6:30 with practitioner Nisa Burrows. There is a link in the e-blast that allows you to tap into that. That is a wonderful thing to do on Wednesday night. We are still looking to expand our AV sound team with volunteers. So if you want to play with the buttons in the back of the room and get to know Ed and Sean a little bit better, that's one way to do it. We invite you to talk with them about finding out how you can help us on a Sunday. Let's see. Just a reminder, I think we've gone from 3 people to 5 people on social media that click like and share. So if you're number 6, please feel free to jump right in there. If you see something from the center that, just if you see anything from the center, hit like. It's the little button with the thumbs up, right? Or the heart, go for it, you love it. You can also share. And all of that acts together to present us to the world in a greater way. Because if you click on it, your friends see it. And heaven knows some of your friends should be coming each week. Yes. Right? Yes, Graham.
Is that the .org, Claremont.org that's on the...
That's our website, yeah. That's our website, but also on Facebook. I was talking mostly about Facebook and Instagram. We also have a presence there. If you look for Claremont Spiritual Center or anything, any variation of that, we will pop up and you can like our stuff there too. Yes?
I noticed when we came to the candlelight service, our marquee out there was not lit up.
Oh,
That
no, it should be. It's on a timer. It should be on. So,
wasn't that night, because I know my daughter brought us and she missed it.
okay, all right.
Just look for that marquee.
Yeah, we'll check. I'll ask Ed there in the back to check the timer on that. He's already made a note. He's nodding his head. We have about 87 timers that do things like sprinklers and parking lights and front lights and, and the marquee light. Obviously, we need to adjust a little. We can definitely take care of that. Thanks for letting us know. All right, we're still collecting for Foothill Family Shelter for non-perishable food items, so do continue to do that. And we don't have a monthly focus this month, but if you want to bring in clothes or supplies, we will be happy to take them over there. So feel free to continue donating. It's just a couple extra things in your shopping basket when you hit the store this week, and that helps. Yes, Mickey?
It's new clothes. It's not used clothes.
New clothes, yeah.
If you have used clothes, that goes someplace else, but to the shelter, they would prefer the new clothes.
Okay, new clothes for the shelter.
Scarves or hats or anything.
Yeah, we did all the cold weather stuff last month. We can continue with that because heaven knows it's not all that warm at night yet. So, hats, gloves, scarves, socks, toiletries, any of those kinds of things. Always welcome. All right, do we have anything else right now? All right, we will be announcing our annual meeting. It comes up in February. We decided, I think, on the 23rd, which is the next to last. No, this is the last Sunday in February. But there will be more information coming, but I just want to have you start keeping that in mind. Part of what we do during the annual meeting is invite people to join the board. We have an opening or two, so if you think you might want to be part of all these very important decisions we make, like what kind of party to have and what kind of fundraiser to do next, and just in general take care of our community, we would love to have you explore that. Our nominating committee this year is Mickey and Chris McDowell, so talk to them first or talk to one of your board members. We'd be happy to invite your questions and help you find out more about it. Anything else? Yes?
I'm not sure if we're having Ricky. Nobody has confirmed that with me.
For this month?
18th, yeah.
You're on the calendar permanent until you tell us otherwise. So yes, Reiki on the 18th here.
We're going to do it at 1.
1 o'clock?
From 1 to 3.
From 1 to 3 instead of 2 to 4?
Yes.
Okay, so Reiki, new time, still the third Saturday, but at 1 o'clock here in the chapel. So a little healing energy floating around the room. It's pretty powerful. So thank you. And just remind Andy so that we get the new time in the bulletin and everything. Okay? Wonderful. All right, my friends, let's stand up, move